It's Bella. So today we're going to be reading the book The Perfect Father. This is by a man by the name of John Glatt. You can find this on Amazon. I'm going to be reading chapter 23. This chapter specifically talks about Chris Watts' double life. And it goes into the summer of 2018 when Shannan went to go visit her family in North Carolina. Meanwhile, Chris was home working as well as seeing his mistress, Nico Kessinger. So we're going to get into it. It's titled The Worst Summer Ever. Early the next morning, Chris Watts arrived at Denver International Airport, dropping off the Lexus at the long-term parking lot. Then he took a photo of the car park sign and texted it to Shannan with the words, "At the airport." While waiting at the gate, he transferred dozens of photos and videos of Nico Kessinger at the Great Sand Dunes into his secret app. He also deleted his APC Health Safety Environmental iPhone contact for her. At 4:46 a.m., he texted Shannan, "On the plane, love you, boo." She immediately texted him back, complaining that the long-term car park would cost $16 a day. "You never ever listen to me," she told him angrily. $130 we can't spend at the beach. 5 hours later, Watts landed at Raleigh Durham Airport and texted Shannan, who was there waiting with the girls. "Let me know when you are coming down Escalator so I can record girls," she texted him. Although it was the first time Chris had seen his family for 5 weeks, he seemed cold and distant when they reunited. "He was acting really standoffish," said Frankie. I'm like, "I bet you guys missed each other." And they were like, "Yeah." That night, they all went out to dinner at Vito's Pizzeria. It was the first time that Sandra had ever met Chris. Over a long Italian dinner, he hardly spoke and appeared distracted. The girls were clearly happy to see their daddy. Chris was quiet and did not say much. When we spoke of the possibility of a baby boy on the way, he lit up with a smile. Back at the Ruzic's house, Chris and Shannan went outside to talk on the porch. She had immediately noticed that he had replaced the photo of her and the girls on his iPhone with the one of the sand dunes. When she asked why, he was evasive. Later, he refused to have sex with her, saying he didn't feel like it. Now, this was an interesting part because him and Shannan were basically away from each other for 5 weeks. Okay, so they had not seen each other for a long time. Now, during this period of time, he was sleeping with Nico Kessinger and he was cheating on Shannan. So Shannan I don't think she was really worried about that at the time. I don't think she was really thinking he was cheating. I think she was more so thinking they were just having, marital issues, or they were just having, problems or whatever. She did question if he was cheating, but he always said no, and she never really pushed the topic. So I don't think she really suspected that at that point. But it is interesting how he denied her multiple occasions. When he was down in North Carolina, they did not sleep together one time. And that is very strange for a healthy age couple that has 2 kids and one on the way. It's very weird. At around 2 a.m., Frankie heard strange noises coming from Shannan's bedroom and went to investigate. The light was on and he peeked in to find his sister vomiting and asked if she was all right. And I was like, "Is that pregnancy stuff?" And she said, "Yeah, probably." Sandy came in to try to help. Shannan was vomiting all night, Sandy said, and Chris didn't get up to see how she was. This was his wife. Early in the next morning, Shannan posted on Facebook for the first time in several weeks. Since arriving in North Carolina, she had drastically scaled down her output on social media. "I'm so excited about August," she wrote. "Girls and I fly home August 7th. I fly to Scottsdale August 10th through 12th for an amazing weekend with my LaVelle family. Gender reveal for baby Watts number 3. Lots of excitement, lots to be thankful for." After breakfast, Shannan took Chris and the girls to downtown Aberdeen, where they visited the hair jazz salon where Sandy worked. "She was glowing," said Stacy Fowler, who worked at the salon and had gone to high school with Shannan. "She was very excited. She told me she was pregnant and they were having a gender reveal party." Another stylist, Darnell Search, said Chris said nothing during the visit and did not seem to want to be there. Chris was very standoffish. I said hi to him and he kept his head down. Later that morning, Frank Ruzick drove Shannan, Chris, and his granddaughters to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, where they had rented 2 condos for a 5-day vacation. The plan was for Frank to stay a couple days and go back to Aberdeen, then Sandy would join for the rest of the time. Ronnie Watts had taken a week off so he and Cindy could join them, but Shannan refused to allow it. Chris had been looking forward to spending time with his parents and felt Shannan was punishing them for nutgate. Now, nutgate was a situation where Chris Watts' parents had given or exposed Cece to tree nuts, which Cece was very allergic to. Like she was definitely allergic to tree nuts. And according to Shannan, when she came over the house, there was a bowl of pistachios on the table, and another one of the grandchildren had taken out a little thing of ice cream that contained tree nuts in front of Cece. And this caused Shannan to be very upset. She did not want the girls to be around their grandparents anymore due to this, and it's a very big ordeal. And I completely understand her feelings about that. As a mom, if you're a parent, you can understand how that's a very serious thing. And truthfully, it can make you want to just cut off certain people in your life because you don't want anything happening to your kids, you know? Back at the condo that night, Chris went out for a walk and spent more than an hour on the phone with Nikki Kessinger. Meanwhile, Shannan called Christina in Hawaii to complain that she no longer recognized her husband, who refused to touch her and was pushing her away all the time. The next morning, Shannan texted Meacham that she thought Chris might be angry. He's been so closed off and only focused on his food. Shannan wrote, "Kissed me once since he's been here. No grabbing my ass, hug, or anything. I want to cry." Christina wondered if it had something to do with the new burn patch she was using and advised Shannan to tell him how she felt. He said nothing wrong. He said nothing's wrong, she replied. 5 weeks away from me and not touching me doesn't make me feel good. He got me pregnant. I just want to cry. Shannan said she and Chris were now sleeping apart, questioning if he was turned off sexually because of the weight she had gained during pregnancy. And this is so heartbreaking, especially for a pregnant woman, like feeling like your husband is no longer attracted to you, or feeling like your husband no longer wants to touch you, wants to sleep with you, wants nothing to do with you. Just makes you as a woman feel so, insecure about yourself and your body. And truthfully, when you're pregnant, your body is constantly changing. Your hormones are changing. You're literally growing a new life inside of you. So you need all the love and support that you can possibly have, especially from your husband, the partner you have that helped create that life. So at the end of the day, this is just a heartbreaking situation all around, for her to feel insecure about her body, for her to feel like her husband has pushed her away, for her to feel, like all these different feelings she was feeling in that moment. Just, I can't imagine, truthfully. Later, Chris went off by himself to look for presents for his girlfriend. He snapped a photograph of a necklace, which he immediately transferred into his secret app. He and Nikki were continually communicating through the app, sending nude selfies to each other. Now, from what I've heard, she sent over 4,000 pictures of herself, nude photos of herself, to Chris in the time span of 6 weeks. 6 weeks. That night, while Shannan stewed in their bedroom, the lovers spent almost an hour and a half talking on the phone. Again, he refused to have sex with Shannan, preferring to do push-ups in the bedroom. "Kids in bed," a frustrated Shannan texted Christina. "I took a night shower, means I want sex, and he knows it. He's over here doing a push-up challenge instead of discussing anything or fucking me. I'm over here crying in silence." "Girl, stop him," replied Christina, "and tell him, don't cry in silence. That's not good for your baby." "I can't do this," Shannan texted back. "Not 3 alone. He's never been like this. 5.5 fucking weeks, no sex. Unless he is getting it somewhere else." On Friday, August 3rd, Frank Ruzick went back to Aberdeen and Sandy arrived for the rest of the vacation. Shannan had now confronted Chris about what was wrong and begged him to talk to her. He told her that he was upset that his parents had been banned from coming to Myrtle Beach. "He looks up to his dad," she told Christina. "His dad is his hero, and he doesn't understand why his dad deleted the whole family from Facebook." Shannan was also texting Nicole Atkinson in Colorado for feedback and advice. She did not know what was going on, Nicole later recalled. She hadn't seen him in 5 weeks, and he wasn't even sleeping in the same bed as her, which I found really odd. Nicole asked if he had been affectionate before she left for North Carolina, and Shannan said everything had been fine. She said they were screwing like rabbits, said Nicole, and he couldn't get enough of her, and they were doing it in the pantry while the girls were in the other room. So to go from that extreme to I don't want to touch you is odd. Later that day, Chris got up the nerve to assert himself and invited his parents to Myrtle Beach to see the kids, even though Shannan said she did not want the kids around her in-laws. Shannan found out and she was livid, and he backed down immediately. But he was becoming even angrier with his wife. So you see these like little patterns, these little signs of, resentment building up, anger building up, frustration building up towards his wife, in these moments. I told him over my dead body, Shannan later told Christina. They don't get to disrespect me and him and his kids and get rewarded. She also complained that Chris had been too weak with his parents about nutgate. Chris is so submissive, she told Christina, and gives in so easy. It's like he brushed this off. What if Celeste died? That night, Chris definitely called his parents, saying he wanted a separation. He defiantly called his parents, sorry. He said, she would not let me see you guys, said Cindy. She won't allow it, and she doesn't want you to have anything to do with Bella and Celeste. Then he called Nikki Kessinger. Although it is unclear what they discussed. Let me hit that again. Although it is unclear what they discussed, she spent 2 hours after the call Googling wedding dresses again. So this wasn't the first time she had Googled wedding dresses. She had Googled wedding dresses a lot, okay? Late that night, Chris finally told Shannan that he had enough of her alienating him from his parents. A bitter argument ensued, and they retired to different bedrooms. It got ugly, Shannan texted Christina. Truth came out. Getting no reply from Christina, who was 6 hours behind in Hawaii, Shannan wrote a long text to Chris, expressing exactly what she thought. Truth came out last night. It began, I didn't create a dagger between you and your dad. That was done by your mom and your dad, and I won't change a thing. My daughter's life is way more important. She told him that his parents' home was no longer a safe zone for Bella and Celeste. You can let them tell you what you want, she wrote. You can believe I created this dagger, but I didn't do that. These kids are my world, and I have to protect them from the evil of the world. I shouldn't have to protect them from evil family. So I'm going to stop there, y'all. This video is getting a little bit long, so I don't want to make it too long. But yes, that is from The Perfect Father. I will continue on from there, so just keep out for another video. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and comment down below what you think about this chapter. Truthfully, just a heartbreaking story, to be honest, and one of those type of things where it's like, man, if she would have known what was going to happen, I think so many things would have happened differently. When that's with any case, but there really wasn't any telling what would happen, because Chris was such a secretive guy. He was quiet, and he only really asserted himself during certain moments, and then got timid again. So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and look out for another video I will be posting here shortly. So yeah, y'all have a great day.